Hello, and welcome to your weekly juice. Tips and advice on how to boost your confidence, conquer self-doubt, and keep you pumped all week. I'm Louisa Jewell, author of Wire Your Brain for Confidence, The Science of Conquering Self-Doubt. And I'm thrilled to have my very good friend, Megan Soutar, here today. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Louisa.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so
And
glad.
Oh, nice. Well, Megan is a Reiki healer as well as a women's wellness coach. And, Megan, you've been doing a lot of physical training for a long time as well.
I have. Yep. Yeah, I'm also a fitness coach too.
Nice. Okay, great. And that's why I wore my workout outfit because I'm going to go
Okay.
work out right after this. So it's like,
Okay.
yes, I'm going to speak to Megan and then I'm going to go and work out.
That's perfect.
So, Megan, I'm so glad that you're here today. And we're going to really just talk about one thing, and that is, why is rest so important to our well-being?
Yeah, such a great question. So, rest is so important to our well being for many, many reasons. I think what's important to think about and focus on today is why rest is so important through our physical body. So, a lot of the work I do through my Reiki work and my women's wellness coaching is around rest and the emotional, spiritual, and energetic body. And then on the other side of my fitness coaching, rest is such a key part of the work that I do with women on the fitness side as well. So, what's important about rest is that it allows our body to integrate the work that we've been doing. So, for example, you started CrossFit, I think about a year and a half ago, right? And you probably noticed when you started CrossFit that you had muscles that you were never even aware of, right? And your body probably started changing a little bit. And when that happens, when we first see those like initial results, we get excited and we want to work out more. We want to see more changes, whatever those changes are, right? Maybe we want to lose weight. Maybe we want to gain weight. Maybe we want to build muscle. And so kind of get on this really great path of just working out all the time. And then sometimes, most of the time, we hit a bit of a plateau and we stop seeing the changes in our body. And in fact, maybe we start seeing changes that we don't want to see. So our body is more swollen in places than it was before. We can't seem to lose any extra weight if that's what we're looking for. And even though, you're maybe in the gym 5 days a week, nothing's happening. And that's because we are constantly putting our bodies under stress at that point. So anytime we do any physical activity, we are stressing our physical body and our nervous system. And when we stress our physical body, say with weightlifting, we kind of cause these micro tears in our muscles. And if we don't let our body rest, our body is going to continuously cycle cortisol through our body. And cortisol is a stress response, right? So you're working out, you're lifting weights, you're tearing those muscles, your body thinks it's under duress. And so it provides you with cortisol to kind of help. And if we don't allow the cortisol to like cycle through our body, and we do that by resting, it's going to continuously flood our body and create inflammation. And so if we're not allowing our body even just 1 day's rest between workouts, we're never going to see the results that we want. And we're not going to change the composition of our body. It's just going to actually make us a bit more unhealthy because there's so much cortisol in our bodies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're suggesting that we should maybe work out every other day if we're doing like a really strenuous workout, or
I think it's one of those listen to your body type things. I give myself 2 days of rest every week. So those 5 days I'm doing different types of activity, different type of exercise. And then on those 2 days a week, I sometimes don't do anything. Maybe I'll go for a walk. Maybe I will, like I said, won't do anything. And that just gives my body a chance to reset, integrate all of the work that I've just been doing, the hard work, and allowing it to change my body the way that I was hoping it to change.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And how do you use rest when you're also when you're working out, should you be resting even within that workout as well? Or do you just, are you full on for the hour?
Yeah, so that's such a great question. And again, it depends on what you're doing. So let's say if you're doing cardio and your goal is to increase your cardiovascular potential and then also maybe lose weight. So, I mean, cardio, you could just continuously do it for 30 minutes. And as long as you're not like spiking your heart rate that way, it's just kind of an even pace, that's great. But if you're doing something like HIIT training, so where you're increasing your heart rate, you're spiking it really high, you want to give yourself time to let your heart rate come down. And in lifting weights, for me, this is different for other people, but for me, I give myself 60 seconds rest between each set that I'm doing. And what that does is it allows the lactic acid to decrease after I've built it. So it just gives your body a chance to kind of like reset between sets. Okay. But there's lots of science out there, and that's definitely like an individual kind of decision for everybody.
Yes. And how many hours sleep do you get as well?
Well, that's a loaded question at the moment. So my ideal is 8.5 hours.
Okay.
That's my ideal. That's when I feel rested. That's when I feel like I can sort of take on the world. Right now I'm getting about 6.5 hours probably a night. And I think that's more to do with like the sun being out late and rising early in the morning. Yeah. We learned in positive psychology that our body sleeps, or our body works in 90-minute sleep cycles, right? And so I really took that information when I learned it and ran with it. So if you're allowing your body to rest through these 90-minute sleep cycles as you're sleeping, and so what that means for me is like if I go to bed at 10, let's say, and I fall asleep at 10:30, I try to wake up at 7. So that means that at the end of that, at 7 a.m. when my alarm goes off, I'm finishing a 90-minute sleep cycle. And what that does is it allows your body to like really get into deep sleep and then come out of it and then go through it again a couple times through the night. So that's my aim, is like, even if I'm sleeping short amounts of time, I try to make sure it's 90 minutes at a time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So interesting. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Megan. Thanks for this information. I think a lot of us, especially women, I think we tend to put our rest on the back burner as we're doing everything for everybody else. So, it's so important to think about rest. And, I love to work out every day, and I never thought about resting for a couple of days. So I'm going to think about that and switch things up. So thank you so much for being here. And thank you all for being part of our weekly juice today. You'll see me next week on our weekly juice. And in the meantime, go kick some butt. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Megan. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.